Hello, everyone, and welcome to Isolation Station number 31. Actually, not number 30, number 31. We are continuing to play on what we're doing. So, having a lot of fun. Hello, Nicholas Lawrence. Hello, everyone. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. We are continuing to work on Drahzar, the Master of Blades. So, super exciting. This has been a project that I've been working on over the last couple of weeks, and it is almost the last part of it all. So, thank you so much, everybody. We're going to be getting through this and whatnot. And we got the chat going. We're live on Twitch, live on YouTube's as well. So, that's exciting. And I appreciate every single one of you for coming by and saying hello. If you didn't catch this live, I'm sorry. But we do things live. Thank you. I really appreciate it. This has been a very, very fun project so far. Hello, Kyle. Hello, Akon Drahzar. Hello, More Security. Beating the first month in quarantine. That's right. Isolation Station 31. Technically, after today, it will have been an official month-long quarantine, which is always fun, right? Is that kind of like what we're looking at? It is prime time for a lot of different channels. I'm competing with like a bunch of different channels right now in terms of views and stuff, which is definitely interesting. But yeah, I'm gonna do this. And that's cool. Just to give everybody a reminder of what we painted. We sprayed it black, so the model itself did get sprayed black, just black primer. And then what we've done is we did skeleton bone from our painter on there, and that is a flesh wash on there. We also did a gloss Agrax Earthshade for the runes. We've done the crusted sore. Anything that's in red has been encrusted sore for army painter. We've also Rakeland Flesh Shade is what we used for that. No, actually we didn't use Rakeland Flesh Shade. We used the flesh wash. We've got XV88 for a lot of the browns. We've got Administratum Grey and Ash Grey, which is what we used for a lot of the highlights on the greys and stuff, like his hair and his face, as well as the purple, which is Vallejo Warlord Purple, I think, game color paint, which is a very cool color. Major, good job. Major, what's going on? Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you for watching and tuning in. I know it's been a super fun project. So what am I going to do today? So today, this piece is essentially tabletop standard. So it is a piece that you could put on the table, and I'd say, hey, that looks pretty cool painted. It has a highlight on the armor. It has most, like, all the different things are picked out in terms of color. We started working a little bit on the horns and stuff as well, so you get like different color on the horns, which is really good. So two things I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be doing another coat on the purple. Essentially, I'm going to like start working up on the color on the purple because I really want to make it sort of pop out at me. And the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of work on the stone here, maybe do a dry brush on the actual base to kind of bring out some of the detail on the base. So I'll probably start with that. Then we'll work on some of the base here. And then the model itself, we'll kind of work on that a little bit as well. Today's video is only going to be about, 45 minutes to an hour long, because it is getting late here, and I've literally been talking for the last 5 hours with coaching. That's right, I do 40K coaching on TTS now that we can't actually play games together. I did a couple of clinics, and then I've been talking for a good 5 hours, plus this. So I need to rest my voice before tomorrow as well. Okay, so let's dive right in. So I'm going to be getting this old brush. It's just a Citadel base brush. You can see it's kind of busted up. And of course you can hear what I'm listening to down on the thing there. And I'm going to basically use the gray, which is the gray that I was told to use. Dawnstone, there we go. Dawnstone, which is like the old, it's GW gray. It's the old Codex Gray, or at least what's supposed to substitute Codex Gray. And I got my nice little dry palette thing here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to clump it on my brush. Then I'm going to essentially try and dry brush it out as much as possible. And then I'm just going to go back and forth on these. It's okay if I get it on different parts. But my aim here is just to bring out the color of these rocks. And it's not going to look super perfect. Hey, Sharonin, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys coming by, saying hi. So all I'm doing here is it's a thicker dry brush, right? So, you know, it's going to get on everywhere. It's going to get on places. But that is okay. And I don't have, like, my dry brushes are pretty busted up and broken. That's why I am using a base brush for a bit of a dry brush. And you can see here, it's just kind of giving it a bit of life, right? You can see the difference there, right, between the two areas. I also want to try and get an updated rig for my camera so you can kind of see it. Now I'd also put a little bit of color on there, like it with the red and the green, to just give a little bit of depth to this gravel, essentially. Essentially what it is, just like a gravel color. And just a little bit of dry brush like this has really kind of helped bring the color out and made it a lot more sort of like approachable. Now this does fit into like the new style of base that I'm going to be doing. Normally I do different style. Like I try and keep the basing as simple and as basic as usual, so it ties into the whole army. We're having a discussion about dry brushing over at Alferris's yesterday. Any pointers you could offer? Enzio from Canada, thank you very much for the subscription with Prime. For anyone who's brand new to the channel, I do a stream every day, about 6 to 7, today is a little late, p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch, at least right now. Normally it's in the mornings, so you can tune in for that, and I do videos on YouTube and coaching and Patreon as well. But thank you for helping out. So any pointers? I tend to do dry brushing a little bit heavier than most people. I started dry brushing quite a few years ago. I think not with my Dark Eldar, but I started dry brushing with some other models. I just found it very useful a lot of the time to kind of, is this skeleton bone? Yeah, so I'm going to use some more of this skeleton bone, which is the color I used for the main. And we're basically going to use some very, very light skeleton bone. We're going to kind of like edge highlight it to kind of really make that pop. Like, I like doing heavier dry brushes. Some people like keeping dry brushes very, very, like, light. It's really a preference thing. I think that I went through a phase where I faded dry brushed stuff. So I'd like dry brush, I would dry brush models colors into different colors. So I did like a Mimera craft world. You know, if anybody knows what the Mimera craft world is, like a craft that has like a teal green, and then it's like supposed to be phased in and out of the different colors. Okay, here we go. So we're going to be using skeleton bone as the main van. This one right here in the middle from the army painter. Okay, let's see what we can do with this. And this isn't designed to be, it's like super watered down, nothing crazy. But what I'm doing is I'm literally just trying to catch like the highlighted areas around the edge, just to bring up the color after I've washed it. That's the cool thing about using a wash. You know, a lot of the times the wash itself, you know, it's not going to be that color, but what it allows you to do It allows you to use the same color that you had before, but as sort of like a highlight. So I haven't actually changed the color palette of my model in the slightest. The guy who first taught me the light approach, as little as possible and little precious as possible. Exactly. Hello, chat. Hello, good evening, Alfarius. What's going on? I was able to catch a little bit of your stream today. It's really cool seeing you working on that giant monster of death and destruction. Like, crazy to see that big monster there. It's really neat. I'm really liking what you're working on. Oh no! Whoops. I didn't see his foot. Yours has been burning. I just brought up the dry brushing combo. That's right. His ears were burning. He's like, I wonder what Skari's talking about me. Damien, hello. Pure and Fish. Just ordered a bunch of Drukari models because of me. Well, I'm glad you're joining the Dark Kin. It's always nice to see new Archons joining the fray. You know, our Dark Eldar are not the easiest army to play with, but they are very rewarding to play with if you, you know, are willing to sort of try new things and think outside the box. A lot of the time, that's all it takes. I have my second one on the paint table right now, trying something a little different. So you're going to run 2 of those guys? Oh my goodness. Flesh Eater Courts are like, they're one of the better armies in Age of Sigmar. They got some nasties, so it's nice to see you playing and painting with them. If you're going to play with them, that's pretty neat and pretty intense. You know, I thought even, well, I guess you did work a lot on your elves, and you kind of got them. Oh, sorry, your Sylvaneth. You got them all set up and ready to go. So now you get to experiment with some other stuff, which is pretty neat. There we go. Really like the how that's looking there. You're looking at it. Boom. It's kind of what I'm doing on the edge there. All right. DayZV, hey, what's going on? Thank you, Damien. Appreciate the shout out. You know, as we say, you want to get better at painting, you just have to hashtag just put paint on it. It's the simplest way to get better at something, especially painting. But we do like to, you know, consider that we can solve all our issues with just putting paint on it. Every issue you might have in life, professional, personal, can be solved with a little bit of paint. And that is what we live by. That is what we live by here. Hashtag just put paint on it. Right, folks? That's right. And I'm just kind of lightly feathering it on. You know, I definitely don't want to overbear. Like, even, like, I do want the wash to kind of follow through, but I don't want it to like overpower the miniature, which is why I kind of go over it again. Hey Hanja, what's going on? The fleshier coats have the old vampires and such. True, yeah. I'm Damien, but I moved to Twitch. Oh, cool. Well, thanks for moving to Twitch. Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon, one of the best units in AOS. That is also true. Cool, been missing playing fantasy minis. Who doesn't? I just have my Tomb Kings. I enjoy my Tomb Kings. And, you know, slowly working on some, like, I guess, Bone Reapers at some point. You know, I was getting the inside scoop on how Bone Reapers work after seeing Matt play them at, like, the Berry Bash. And he was telling me how different they are from anything he's ever experienced. Because they have, like, a whole bunch of mechanics that aren't, like, normal for the game. You know, they just have, like, different game mechanics. And he was like, yeah, well, they do this differently and that differently. Well, it's pretty intense. It's pretty crazy. Going to bed, seeing my Astaroth. He's pretty bloody. Yeah, your Astaroth looks really good. I'm really happy that you've been sharing all those miniatures there, Hanjo, and I can't wait to get back to coaching and getting some games. Of course, now, you know, what can we do when there's no games and you don't have tabletop simulators? So You're one of the patient ones. Some people aren't patient, but being patient goes a long way in this game. It really does. Just a heads up, gonna be bouncing about 20 minutes. Yeah, no problem, Shonen. As I said, today's stream is relatively short-lived. We're gonna, this is just like a follow-up, especially for everybody on YouTube, on how to paint Drahzar. It's just take your time. Don't don't go too crazy with the colors. Just let the colors kind of like flow on the model. And don't forget to hashtag put paint on it, which is literally what we do on the channel pretty much every single day. It's kind of what we're looking for here, right? Getting better at painting and working on stuff. Oh yeah. And then of course, making sure that I'm using all the paints that I set myself out to use. And there we go. Little feathery light touches on there. Oh, my stomach. Oh, that does not feel good. Probably why they took the light dry brush approach. Stomach pain. Who points on the Archon? Alex, Null oil does taste delicious. No, it doesn't. It tastes terrible. But to each their own. When we say just put paint on it, we literally mean just put paint on it. We also, as you might know, get our power from drinking the paint water. So you will be on your way to being a true professional once you're chugging paint water and putting paint on everything that comes before you. I don't actually endorse that you drink paint water. Just something that we say is a bit of a joke around here. Reek the Forgotten, love the shot of the painting handle, looking good. Well, I'm sorry if you... I'm sorry, man. I'm trying to get the best angle for you folks to watch what I'm doing. Because, after all, it's, there's definitely been an interesting dynamic with this little bit of painting here, but ooh! Behold the mighty Citadel butt plug. That's right. By the way, it is one of the most useful tools, and I'm very, very, very happy that I was able to that I have a few now, because it just saves your models. You don't put your hand oil everywhere. Oh, so useful. I'm very happy that I got these things. Wish I could paint some Space Marines. Nope, not here. No, well, I'll probably pull out my Black Templars at some point and do some work on them so that you guys can see me paint my Black Templars. I did my Black Templar Captain not too long ago, actually. Which is worse? Number 1, drinking paint water by mistake. Or number 2, washing your brush in your freshly made beverage. Which is one of the reasons I keep my freshly made tea delicious way over far away. Because when I put it too close to my pot water, it has happened. However, I want to say drinking paint water by mistake is probably worse. I'm going to tell you the same thing I told FRs. Put an X on your desk. X is where you keep the model and where you can see it in focus. I do, but I basically need to change. I technically need to change I technically need to change the camera angle, really. Drinking paint water is a rite of passage in the hobby, says Archon Drahzar. That is also true. Because, you know, every once in a while we'll be hanging out hobby and then all of a sudden, boom! Paint water in the face. Ooh. I used to paint some Warhammer miniatures when I was young. I'm in college now. It's quite expensive. There's a lot of time. I miss it. Your paintings are so good, by the way. Well, thanks. It's literally just practice, to be honest. I've you know, I do a little bit here, a little bit there. I've been streaming pretty much every day for the last year and a half now. You know. Ooh, I'm really enjoying bringing the life out of this, like, stonework here. It's nice to kind of, like, when you're doing paint on a model, like, changing a little bit of, like, what your palette is doing. So instead of, like, I try to, like, change it up a little bit, do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Because sometimes, you know, you can get, like, after doing, you know, 2 hours of just drawing highlights on this model, was it 4 hours of drawing highlights on this model? Oh my goodness. I was ready to, like, throw some shit around. I was like, I don't want to do more highlights. This shit is crazy. Crazy, I tell you. Crazy. Right? So, just like cutting yourself during a model assembly, you will always fail to wound with your arm if you don't concentrate with the corn. That's true. Well, one of the things that I did when I was young, one of the main, like damage things that I did to myself. Hey, Steven, thank you so much for the subscription. 3 months now for you subscribing on Twitch. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Meekon, thank you very much for the subscription as well. I really appreciate it. First subscription. Yeah, good job. Hey, set up an Instagram too. Most happy to have finished my basing on my Grey Knights. Nice. I'm glad that you're working on your basing. You know, one of the coolest things about kind of forgot my train of thought there. Got really excited about everybody subscribing. Yeah, doing different colors on a model. is that like by doing like the base a little different than the model itself, you know, it's allowed me to kind of go back and forth, kind of go, okay, now I want to work on this or now I want to work on that, and it kind of gives me an excuse to kind of like test different colors and different, you know, like different color combinations and things like that. So here's hoping that it all kind of pans out in the end and stops me from going absolutely bonkers crazy. Ah. Ooh. You keep us sane. Well, I appreciate it. John Chavez, hello. On YouTube, asking a question, he says, for 8th, what is the worst discrepancy of rules versus lore as far as role is concerned? Example, why are guard sentinels killie tanks instead of scouts? Will Newcomb, good luck with the now going crazy part. I'm failing watching lots of battle reports, though. Well, that's good. Man, my stomach does not feel good. Oof. Well, I appreciate it. You know, trying to stay sane is part of what we do here. Of course, we have a simple solution to all our problems, and if you've tuned in ever, you will know what that solution is. It is very simply just put paint on it. That's right. The one solution to all your problems just happens to be just putting paint on things. Just put paint on it. Just put paint on it. That's all I'm going to say. Commissioner painters must go crazy having to make so many Space Marines. That's true. Over and over again. Well, you know, it's one of the reasons why sometimes I'll paint Dark Eldar and sometimes I'll have like other things to paint or whatever, and I'll kind of like go back and forth and, you know, paint this model, that model, and Inquisitor. You know, I've got like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know, when I painted Jane Czar, that was really fun because I had like it was like a completely different sort of like paint style. I did it all in like contrast paints and stuff. And what it is, I kind of challenged myself to paint something a little different, which was super important for me personally to kind of challenge myself. And it's kind of what I wanted at the end of the day. Is to just do something different. Boom shakalaka. Boom boom shakalaka, boom boom shakalaka, boom boom shakalaka, boom boom shakalaka. You inspired me to start my Drahzar, says Kark Oski. Nice. Let's take a look at your Drahzar. By the way, if you want to share anything on the Twitch page, you can. Just put a link up. Ooh, nice. It's purple. Ooh, I like it. And red. And I love it. Wow, you did a good job on those horns. See, you did light to dark. I'm doing dark to light, but for some reason, people really like that light to dark. And I was kind of, you know, thinking about that the other, like when I was doing the horns the other day. It's like, which one should I really do, or which one is better? But I decided to go dark to light. But I guess light to dark would work since his armor is dark, but who knows? I don't consider myself an expert in Eldari shenanigans when it comes to painting. Or color combinations, or that sort of thing. Ooh. Mana, 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 mana. I had like some food before I started streaming, and I think It's not sitting right with my stomach, which is not a good thing. So I like food, and I like having food in my belly. My food is like, I don't want to be in your belly. That's not a good sign. There we go. Ooh! Dark to light brings interest to the face. Makes sense. Instead of to the horns. Like you bring the interest down to the face itself. That makes sense. Kind of why I love this new wave of custom group rules. Use custom rules, paint your guys however you like. Right, exactly. I think that's really good for like Space Marines, really good for like Eldar and Harlequins, everything. Oh. Hey, War Mistress, what's going on? Rick says emergency washroom break is a thing, Skari. That is true. However, I'm not at that point. It's not like trying to come out. It's just like sharp pain. It's just not like trying to come out this way or come out my other way. It's not like that type of pain. It's just like it's just discomfort. Not to panic you, but makes a face. Indigestion is a symptom. I mean, of COVID. I feel like if I would have gotten it, I would have gotten it already. We've been in isolation for like 30 days. So unless I can randomly get it from like sitting at home. I feel like I would have already gotten it by now, if anything. I'm also not out of breath or like I don't have a fever, so I'm just kind of like touching the tops of here. Devs 30, haven't gotten to this model yet, but I'm looking forward to painting it. Nice. I'm sure if any from your house has been out at all. Well, my wife still works. She works at a group home, so she's you know, she's technically at risk every day. You know, being that she works with like, you know, like group home kids that, you know, need like one-to-one care and stuff, like brain injury clients and whatnot. So technically, yes, I guess we would all be at risk continuously at my house. One of the reasons I can't really have people over, even other people who have been on isolation forever. You know, because we could be like infecting them inadvertently. Oh, I love music so much. Every time I paint, I like sitting down, listening to some music, and just painting. And really kind of like having a good time. Just like painting stuff. Now today was one of those days where after I had been doing so much stuff, I'd really considered like toning down the paint stream today, being like, I'm not gonna do my paint stream. But you know what? I'm glad that I decided to hashtag just put paint on it. It's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put some paint on it, and it's gonna make me feel better. I'm glad I did, because continuing to work on this little project, you know, has made me happy. Just every day. Just a little bit. Work a little bit here, work a little bit there, you know, and then eventually it'll be done. And I'm really, really excited about it because it's a cool thing about like a project like this is you can really kind of take your time with it, and it's like almost, it is a bit of a centerpiece, you know, in a sense, in a way. Why is it a centerpiece? Well, because it is. Don't listen to me then. Yeah. Listen to you for what? Oh yeah, because you worry by nature. John Chavez says, what a game, if any, would you like to see a 40k RS reskin? Castle Crashers, Worms, Mario Kart, Mario. Interesting. Get a 40k reskin, eh? Well, they did Total War Warhammer, which is pretty cool because it's like a reskin. Well, not like a reskin, it's like a full-fledged game. But I'd like them to do something like that for like 40k. I think that would be freaking epic. Like, think about it. It's like 40k Total War. Ugh. I hope they're working on it, but it would be like so much death and destruction, and it would look so crazy. Like so crazy, wouldn't it? One hour a day, baby. Yeah, that's all you need. Just paint 1 hour a day. Keeps the Battlefleet Gothic was pretty sweet. Battlefleet Gothic is really fun. I really like Battlefleet Gothic. Gotta get back to work. No problem, War Mistress. Thanks for tuning in for a little bit. Really appreciate it. It's nice of you to hang out. So as you can see here, I did some of that base. Because it's all about that base. So we did a little bit of that. And just to recap, we used a bit of dry brush on the... we used a dry brush on the gray to put a little bit of that gray in style. And then we put the skeleton bone on the edges to really kind of get a feel for that as well. And that's pretty much how you do a Drahzar base. Ta-da! I hope you guys like seeing what we've been doing. But that will be all for me tonight. And thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. For everybody who was commenting, thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to all the content. If you'd like to support the channel, consider subscribing on Twitch, clicking that notification button, leaving a comment, or if you like, join the Denizen community and become a Patreon today. The links are down below in the description. That's it. Have a great night, and I will see you again tomorrow on another hashtag Just Put Paint on It. How to paint Drahzar, the Master of Blades. Thanks a lot, everybody. Bye. Hashtag Just Put Paint on It. Hooray!